Hello guys! So maybe some of you guys are still wondering about what is accounting. Worry not, this video is for you guys. Let us go to the first part of the video, which is what is accounting? In this part, we will answer three main questions, which are what is accounting, why do we need it, and what are the career fields in accounting. For the first question, what is accounting? Accounting is an information system that collects and organizes financial data of a person or organization. Just now, we said that accounting is an information science. This concerns analyzing, collecting, and organizing information. But what kind of information? Accounting needs financial information, which is all about money, and it is quantitative in nature and measures money. Next, why do we need it? In accounting, we use the past in order to take action in present to change the future. What kind of future? The future is using accounting with all the statements that we made, we can plan the growth of the business, we can secure a loan, and we can attract investors into the business. For the last question of this part, what does accounting has to offer? Actually, there are many types of career fields, but let us focus on these six. The first one is public accountant. You need CPA certification that will make you eligible to work at public accounting firm. The second one is tax accountant. Just like it seems, this career focuses solely on tax-related accounting work. The third one is forensic accountant. In this field, you need to examine companies' financial statement and provide analysis for legal cases or investigate crimes like fraud. The next one is financial accountant. You need to prepare report that assesses fiscal performance for individuals external to the company. The next one is managerial accountant. This career is similar to financial accountant but focus more on internal stakeholder. And the last one is internal auditor. In this career, you need to ensure all the resources are being used effectively. Interesting, right?
Hi guys, my name is Fatih Izzati and I will introduce to you guys the basic things in learning accounting. Okay, first we have the 5 common account. The 5 common account include include assets, liabilities, equity, expenses and revenue. Okay, first we have asset. Asset is referred to the sources or items that the companies own. Assets have a future economic value that can be measured and expressed in monetary terms. For example, buildings, car, and cash. Then we have liabilities. Liabilities is referred to the legal financial obligation or in our simplest way to understand liabilities is debts that our companies incur during the business operation. Liabilities can be limited or unlimited. This liability will be settled over time through the transfer of economic benefits such as money, services or goods. The example of liabilities is like accounts payable, loans and mortgage. Next we have equity, which also known as shareholder equity. It refers to account of money that our companies must return to the shareholders after all the assets are liquidated and all of its debt is paid off. Equity is calculated by subtracting a company's total asset and its total liability. Then we have expenses. Expenses is referring to the cost of operation that business incur to generate revenue. Common expenses include employee wages, payments to suppliers, equipment depreciation and factory leases. Lastly, we have revenue. Revenues refers to the income that a company generates from its normal business operation, which include deduction and discount for the returned products. Revenue is gross income figure from which costs are subtracted to determine net. Revenue is gross income figure from which costs are subtracted to determine net income. Okay, then reporting. First, we have income statement, which contains information about company's revenues and deducts all the expenses incurred to determine the net profit or loss for the reporting period. It measures the ability of the company to expand its customer base and operate in an efficient manner. Secondly, we have balance sheet. This document contains information about a company's asset, liabilities and equity as of the end of reporting period. It shows the financial position of an organization as of point in time and carefully reviewed to determine the organization's abilities to pay its bills. Lastly, we have statement of cash flows. This document contains information about the uses and sources of cash during the reporting period. It's especially useful when the amount of net income that appears on the income statement is different from the net change in cash during the reporting period. Next, we must record our business transaction in our accounting books. This transaction will record in two separate accounts, which is debit and credit account. A debit entry is an entry that made on the left side of an account. It's either increased an asset or expenses account or decreased the equity, liability or revenue accounts. For example, you would debit the purchase of a new computer by entering asset gain on the left side of your asset account. Okay, then a credit entry is made on the right side of the account. It's either increase the equity, liability or revenue accounts or decrease an asset or expenses account. For example, we will record the corresponding credit for the purchase of the new computer by crediting your expense account. In conclusion, debit and credit are used to prepare critical financial statements and other documents that you may need to share with your bank, accountant, the IRS or an auditor.
After learning about the basic accounting, are you now wondering where you can go after SPM? Fret not. There are actually 3 accounting pathways that you can take in order to pursue your pathway in accounting. The 3 pathways are matriculation, diploma, and also professional papers. The first one is the matriculation program. There are 2 accounting programs that you can choose. The first one is the professional accounting stream and the second one is the accounting stream. Under the matriculation, the duration is only 1 year with only 2 semesters. That's a really short period in case you're wondering. Not just that, every state has at least 1 matriculation. So, the chances of you getting somewhere closer to your home is actually higher. Besides that, for every semester, there are only 4 core subjects that you need to take, which are accounting, business, economics, and mathematics. These 4 core subjects are to be taken for both semesters. The other compulsory subjects that you need to take are English, General Studies, Islamic or Moral Education, and also co-curricular activities. Besides that, there is one thing that is exciting about matriculation, and that is you will get a 250 ringgit allowance for every month from our government for the whole 1 year duration. Isn't that exciting? Next, matriculation might be the most affordable pre-university program in Malaysia. This is because you just need to pay the registration fee of less than 600 ringgit because the other costs are all subsidized by our government. And then, once you are done with matriculation, there are wider degree choices for you to choose. You can apply for public universities like UM, UKM, UPM, and many more under the UPU system. In any case that you've been in the matriculation and you figured out that accounting is not the best option for you, then don't worry because there are other options for you to choose from, such as the law, economic, business, and also finance degrees. The second accounting pathway is the diploma. You can apply for diploma under the UPU system once you are done with your SPM. The duration for diploma in accounting is usually around 2 until 2.5 years. That is actually a bit longer than the matriculation, but the diploma has its advantages as well. Firstly, there are actually many public and private institutions that are offering diploma in accounting, so the choices are always open for you. Next, diploma is also equivalent to a first-year degree qualification because it has a higher qualification since it has a longer duration. Diploma is something that is ideal for you if you know that accounting is the right choice and you are prepared to commit yourself in this course because your degree options are only limited to the fields that are related to the accounting diploma. If you are thinking to pursue degree in accounting right after the diploma, there are actually institutions that allow you to transfer your credit hours, which means that you don't have to relearn the things that you have learned throughout your diploma years, so that will shorten your degree. However, if you don't want to continue a degree, with a diploma qualification, you can directly work afterwards as accounts executive or accounts assistant and many more, because diploma focuses on practical and industry-specific skills in order to train you for the working world.
So now let's talk about ACCA and ICAEW. You may have heard about these two terms and saw some advertisement. There are actually two different qualifications for accounting professional ability. In your university life, you may need to consider which one to choose to study for. The choice may need to be made in the year 2. So you better have some basic understandings for the two qualifications at the beginning. ACCA is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, and it is also the world's leading professional accounting organizations and the fastest growing professional accounting organizations with the largest number of students in the world. ACCA is a premier qualifications for professionals around the world who are interested in pursuing careers in the fields of finance, accounting, and management. Internationally, ACCA is a founding member of International Accounting Standards Board and a member of the International Federations of Accountants. Generally, ACCA is more widely recognized than ICAEW. ICAEW is the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. It is one of the most authoritative professional accounting organizations in the world. Comparing with ACCA, ICAEW follows more strict requirements. So, if you want to register as an ACA student for ICAEW in your university life, you need to prepare your final exams under the relative requirements of ICAEW. In some countries, ICAEW can apply for exceptions for ACPA courses. According to an 2020 membership survey, the average annual salaries of an ICAEW members worldwide is 108,000 English pounds.
Hi guys! For my accounting journey, I took accounting when I was in Form 4. After SPM, I applied for accounting under matriculation program. I got accepted into College Para Kuala Nerang under 1-year program of matriculation. What's interesting about this college is you will get 5 free meals per day and you will get an allowance of 100 ringgit per month. Interesting, right? After I finished my matriculation, I applied for a degree in accounting at UM using UPU. I went through an interview and all of us went into the interview and we made it. And now we are here continuing our degree in accounting.
So my accounting journey started a few years back in secondary school when I was in Form 4. I took sub-science stream which consisted of all the basic SPM subjects, and I also took chemistry, physics, and of course, my favorite subject, accounting. I really love studying accounting, and that's when I knew that accounting is something that I would want to pursue in the future. So after I finished my SPM, I decided that I want to go for matriculation. And then I got in at Perlis Matriculation College and studied there for 2 semesters. And now here I am taking Bachelor of Accounting at University of Malaya.
Okay, so my first experience as an accounting student is when I was at Matriculation College, which means that when I was in Form 4 and Form 5, I don't take accounting as my pure subject. Instead, I took all pure science stream subject, which is biology, chemistry, and physics. Then I decided to try something new, and I applied for accounting course in matriculation level, and I got accepted in Matriculation Negeri Sembilan. After I finished my matriculation level for 2 semesters, which is 1 year, I got into this university, which is University of Malaya, in Bachelor of Accounting.
Hello everyone, I am Hanisa. So my accounting journey is I started to take accounting as my SPM subject when I was 16 and 17 years old, and then I applied for matriculation. I also applied for a diploma in accounting. However, I got somewhere which was far from my house, so I decided to go into matrix instead. But I've never regretted the decision because it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I really love the environment there, and it was just a 1 year period, so it was just a short journey. And then ever since I got into matriculation, I've always aimed for UM. So under the UPU, I put degree in accounting in UM as my first choice, and Alhamdulillah, I got it. So that is where I am now, and I'm already in my second semester of Bachelor of Accounting in UM. So that is a bit of my accounting background.
Hi everyone, I am Hazira and I'm going to take over the next session, which is accounting myth. Accountancy is an often misunderstood profession. People typically don't know much about it, so they tend to make judgment based on stereotypes. I'm pretty sure each one of us have heard or even think about one of these myths when people talk about accounting. So I am here today to tell you whether it's true or false. So let's go to the first accounting myth. Okay, you must be a maths whiz. So being an accountant is much more about problem solving rather than doing complicated maths. The job only really involves basic maths, and even then that is becoming less necessary with automated processes. So being able to do maths is of course an advantage for you, but the role is more about analyzing and also investigating. So as long as you know how to use a calculator, then there's nothing to worry about because you have enough math skills to do basic accounting. And then the next one, accountants do not know how to socialize. I have to disagree with this because accountants are expected to be able to communicate effectively with their teams, the customers, and also professionals. So teaching is actually a big component of accounting because they need to explain matters to the customer, to the decision makers, train staff, and also educate their co-workers on things that they are not sure with or just don't know about. Alright, the next one that is it is a boring occupation. Though you might think that it is boring since people say that, or if you're an accountant, you will just sit in front of your laptop all day and look at figures. But actually, you could help in, let's say, high profile investigations, be a celebrity's financial advisor, or even travel the world to help global companies comply with international laws. I could say that these days there are actually many fascinating accounting fields. So let's say you like sports, you can become a sports accountant, fashion accountant, and there's also entertainment accountant. So I don't think that seems boring, right? Alright, and then the next one is technologies are replacing accountants. With technological advancement, it's true that accountants do less bookkeeping and more on advising. And certain accounting processes are becoming automated, but this simply means that an accounting role is shifting, not that it is disappearing. People often misunderstood that. So I think accounting is still a smart choice for graduates because demand is not changing anytime soon. Of course, there are software that helps to simplify bookkeeping action, but it still cannot replace the effectiveness of a human's understanding of accountancy principles. And the last one is accounting only focuses on one scope, which people usually say it's tax. So actually there are other key areas of accounting such as financial accounting, management accounting, audit and assurance services, all which entails different tasks and responsibilities. Accountants, they perform a wide variety of roles in the public and also private sectors.